Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Scott Sports 101. I'm Scott Trella. We'll talk about a little bit about the AFC NFC Pro Bowl today, and we'll talk about the big game coming up 1 week from today, and that's of course Super Bowl 53. We'll talk about the Cavs, and but first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. And it's an NHL hockey trivia question. Who was the first hockey player to win Sportsman of the Year honors from Sports Illustrated? I'll have the answer later in the broadcast. Well, the AFC held out the NFC in the AFC-NFC Pro Bowl today in wet and rainy Orlando, Florida, in the second-to-last game of the season. And defensive backs Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward really played well in this game today. And Russell Wilson got some playing time. Even Mitch Trubisky got some playing time. And the AFC led 7-0, and then it was 14-0. And then by the fourth, the NFC scored one touchdown, but that was as close as they got. And as I said, the AFC held out the NFC 26-7 in today's AFC NFC Pro Bowl. And I mean, probably nobody was watching it, but it's a meaningless game, but it's a fun type game. So, and moving on now, 1 week from today, the big game will take place at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, and I am of course talking about Super Bowl 53 between the New England Patriots and the Los Angeles Rams. The Patriots are still favored to win by 2.5 points, and I thought this will be a really close game. I have not made my official Super Bowl pick yet of who I feel is going to win, and but I will sometime this week. And I thought it was going to be a really good game. And tune in next Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, for a very special edition of Scott Sports 101. Appropriately titled Super Bowl 101. I'll preview the big game, and I'll preview the halftime show, which Maroon 5 will be performing. I'll preview that as well. And I will relive great moments, and I'll have a lot of Super Bowl trivia questions. I'll have several of those. And I'll relive great moments in Super Bowl history. And it all leads, and so much more, and it all leads up to the kickoff of Super Bowl 53 at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta at 6:30 p.m. on CBS. And I'm really looking forward to that, so please tune in next Sunday for Super Bowl 101, a very special extended edition of Scott Sports 101, besides the regular Super Bowl pregame show. And that will begin hopefully early afternoon at 12 noon or 1 o'clock. So I'll keep you posted. The Ohio State men's basketball team will take on the Michigan Wolverines on Tuesday at 7 o'clock at Value City Arena in Columbus, after beating the Nebraska Cornhuskers 70-69 at Value City Arena yesterday in Columbus, and they go to 13-6. Way to go, Buckeyes! Well, the Cavs snapped their 6-game losing streak last night. They beat the Chicago Bulls, at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois, 104-101. Yes, the Cavs won. It's true. They snapped it. Their 6-game losing streak. Jordan Clarkson and Alec Burks both had 18 points. Clarkson had 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Burks had 14 rebounds, 2 assists. C.D. Osman had 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. Matthew Dellavedova, 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. And Rodney Hood, 14 points, 1 rebound, and 2 assists. The Cavs are back in action Tuesday night when they will take on the Washington Wizards at home at Quicken Loans Arena. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. on Fox Sports Ohio. Getting back to the talking about the Super Bowl and next week's big game, I want to get back to that. I really just feel this game is really going to be a close game, and a lot of people are saying that I feel that the Patriots are going to win. And I'm leaning towards the Patriots. I'm picking them because I know a lot of Patriots fans and NFL fans want to see Tom Brady become a 6-time Super Bowl champion, and I feel a lot of fans are saying that that the Rams are going to have a rally and come back and win this game. But I'm not so sure if the Rams are going to be able to get past the Patriots. I'm really not sure. And it's really going to come down to really who has the, I think, better defense in this game. And we'll have to wait and find out on Super Bowl game day for Super Bowl 53 next Sunday on Super Bowl Sunday. And I just feel this is really going to be a close game between the Pats and the Rams. So really tune in for that. And I really feel, and I feel that, and I want to take a look at, and I just feel this game is really going to be close between the Pats. That this game is really going to, I really feel, going to set the tone. I think the first play of the game is going to set the tone for who is going to come out victoriously in the Super Bowl, and I just really feel whoever scores first, I feel that is who is going to win this game on Sunday. So we shall see who comes out victoriously on Sunday, next Sunday in Super Bowl 53. And getting into some Browns news, a little bit of Browns news real quickly. There seemed to be a little bit of dysfunction in Berea on Friday. The Browns seem to have turned a corner with John Dorsey and John Dorsey as head coach and Baker Mayfield as quarterback, and Freddie Kitchens as who we know as the head coach. But their extreme dysfunction in the first 6 years under owners Jimmy and Dee Haslam continues to make national news, as we all know. The Browns have gone 27-84 and 1 since the Haslams agreed to purchase the Browns in August 2012, and they have fired 4 coaches since. Their tenure has been characterized by 4 failed regimes and a circus surrounding Johnny Manziel as a disastrous experiment to run the team on almost on all analytics or whatever. ESPN sports writer Seth Wickersham talked to more than 24 sources and did a deep dive into the tumultuous reign of the Haslams and how they got to this point. Now, here are some takeaways from that piece. Hugh Jackson's tender was due from the start. They felt, according to Wickersham, Haslam ignored the pleas of Sache Brown and Paul DePosada not to hire Hugh Jackson after the 2015 season. He reports that after a few rounds of interviews, the Browns brass voted 4-1 in favor of the Panthers defensive coordinator Sean McDermott, with Haslam being the lone supporter of Hugh Jackson. And he said DePosada emailed Haslam and argued that Hugh Jackson didn't fit the profile of the successful coaches that they had discussed. Brown met with Haslam and told him hiring Jackson would be a bad call, to which the owner responded. And he's like, I hear you. And I thought it was going to be good at first to hire Hugh Jackson, but I felt after the winless season that it was a bad idea. Hugh Jackson just did not work out, and he just was not the coach to get us where we need to be, and I just feel this one is going to be, I think. And those are just a few, and I just want to just to share that with you. We'll get back to all my final thoughts in just a moment, but here is the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. Who was the first hockey player to win Sportsman of the Year honors from Sports Illustrated? And if you said Bobby Orr, you are correct. Bobby Orr was named Sportsman of the Year by Sports Illustrated in 1970, making him the first hockey player to receive the award. He also won league MVP honors that year and led the Boston Bruins to a Stanley Cup championship. I'll have another trivia question on my next broadcast, hopefully tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And I feel that now we're looking forward to next week's Super Bowl in Atlanta, Super Bowl 53, and this is going to be a really big weekend, and I just feel this is going to be a really great game, and I just feel, I've said this before, I feel the team that scores first, either the Patriots or Rams, whichever team scores, that's going to set the tone for the game, and I think that's the team that is going to come out victoriously, and that's really how I feel that is really going to set the pace for the game. And we'll find out next week on game day for Super Bowl 53. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for this edition of Scott Sports 101. I'll be back, hopefully, I think tomorrow with another podcast, so on my regular broadcast. So until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.